In this week's edition of Pocket Wellness, Trish rounds out her series on the nervous system. She gives practical advice on how to identify which state of dysregulation that you may be in and techniques to bring yourself back into a state of regulation. You enjoy it.
Welcome to the Wellness Empowerment Project. I'm Trish.
And I'm Julie. We are two nurses exploring holistic healing and wellness practices to empower you to be the leader of your own health. Join us as we try out new things, or as we call it, weird shit, and have some fun along the way.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Pocket Wellness. This is Trish, and we are closing out our short series on the nervous system or about the vagus nerve and cognitive theory and how it applies to us. Our body, our nervous system, finds ways to adapt. Those strategies may or may not always be helpful. However, it might be helpful in the bigger picture of things. It may not be helpful for us to live in a physical state. It may not be helpful for us to be living disconnect and more in that dorsal bar. But these are survival strategies that our body has learned over time. And it got stuck if you are living in that state. Assumption that the future is going to be as a path. It's a very efficient way for our body to be functioning. However, it interferes when we want to start to show up differently into our lives. So how can we change some of these unconscious automatic habits and to bring ourselves back into regulation? We can be present in our lives, feel connected with ourselves, connected with other people, and not in this current state of scanning for rest, living in fear, overthinking in our brain, or the opposite, being so disconnected, we're not connected to our body that we feel like we can't speak up and aren't able to be active in our lives. What I think is so important for us to know is that we have breathwork, which means that our body can learn and we can help our body to learn and change. So we can move ourselves so that we start to relate to challenges differently in our body. But in order to do that, we need to be doing the right resource for the right state. So what does that mean? We talked a lot about the different states that our body can be in. We did that. First thing you really do is start to recognize when your body's out of balance. You may or may not be living in a dysregulated state. You'll start to notice when you shift into the regulation. How frequently are you shifting? Are you able to pull yourself out of it? Or do you think you can hang around for a while? When I say that, I think we've all experienced times where something happened at work, something happened at home, and are you able to handle it and release it and move forward? Or do we continue to perseverate over it? How does it affect us? How does it affect the rest of our day? How does it affect our brain? How does it affect our mind? Because there is destiny in our mind, that's why we really need to recognize what state we're in so we can choose the right resource to help start to shift us out of these different states. Because on the earth, I look at it from the way of we've always been taught you start from least invasive and go to most invasive. And that's similar to how I look at it here. Is you want to start with maybe some different proprioception resources using the senses around you and outside of you. And then move yourself into a more interoception, noticing how your body internally is feeling. One of the reasons we do that is because, one, if you're able to use something less invasive to move yourself, shift yourself out of that state, you want to be able to shift yourself out as much as possible. The other piece is that when it comes to different interoception activities, a lot of that is involving the breath. Sometimes, especially with anyone who's experienced trauma, the breath can be very hard to regulate. It could be very triggering. We want to see if we can do something before we get to that point. Almost like you're preparing yourself to do that particular activity. We talked previously, if we want to try to break it up, we have sympathetic and we have dorsal. Sympathetic is that fight and flight response, and The dorsal is for the rest to digest, but to go a little bit deeper, the dorsal tends to be where people do a shutdown, a collapse, a fusion. You also have breathe, which is that combination of dorsal and sympathetic, and sympathetic can be a lot of that right response. So if you want to look at it externally, a very simple way to notice and to shift yourself out is looking at your posture in flight, even though it's sympathetic, you tend to be a little more hunched over. And you're very much like that in the dorsal state as well. When you're hunched over like that, your lungs are more collapsed, your spine isn't straight. But when your spine's not straight, your chest is not straight. The ventral vagal state, or what that's all about connection and social engagement, is connecting from that heart center above the diaphragm into your facial structure. Just for a minute, you're feeling yourself, especially in that dorsal state, or maybe in a flight state. Check your posture. Are we sitting up straight, or our knees below our hip to help us with that alignment with our feet maybe flat on the ground? What I find interesting is that a lot of the practice that we talk about are all practices that we'll do or we'll start with in our yoga class. I'm a really big fan of making sure everyone is in proper alignment on their bolster with their knees below their hip and their spine is in alignment, that they're sitting straight up. You check your posture. With that said, when you're in more that heck now, your heart rate's a little higher, deep breathing a little faster. Is this an opportunity to go from standing to sitting, from sitting to lying down? And with the dorsal, if it's an opportunity, typically your heart rate is very low, you add some energy to your system from lying down to sitting, from sitting to standing. But going a little bit deeper into this, if you're still in that sympathetic state and you start discharging some energy, you can start some shaking. If you're sitting at your desk, you can start just shaking your fingers, your wrists, your arms, go all the way up, elbows and your shoulders, and just get that energy discharge out of your system. If you're able to do more, that maybe it's time to go for a walk or to do something that you can really help get that energy out from itself. Whereas in the dorsal state, you may feel a little disconnected from the body. We really want to bring ourselves back into that connection. This could be a good time to do tapping. You may can put your hand, rest in a little bit of a fit and just start tapping up and down your arm. Just see how much pressure you want to do going all over the arm, maybe your chest, your stomach, maybe a little bit of the leg. Just start to bring sensation and to bring yourself back to the awareness of your physical body. Another practice, if you're in that dorsal state, is a wall push. You put your hands on the wall, your feet are a little bit further from the wall, and you're just pushing into that. Now, again, this is really using our physical presence to bring this awareness and this pressure now into our body to bring ourselves back into space. If we want to go deeper into the more introspective activities, which is where we have different breathwork practices. I think this is one of the big reasons why it is important to recognize your state. You hear a lot of people talking about a 1 to 2 breath, where the exhale is longer than the inhale. That breath is great if you're in a sympathetic state. Maybe inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. And that will start to shift your state out of sympathetic, lowering that heart rate, regulating that breath, bringing you back to that regulated ventral connection. However, if you're in a dorsal state where your heart rate and your respiratory rate are already low, that 1 to 2 breath could bring you deeper into that dorsal state. This is again where recognizing your state is vitally important. Because in dorsal, you don't want to do a 1 to 2 breath. You want to do maybe a 1 to 1 breath, an equal inhale and an equal exhale through the nose. When we're doing these breaths, we are using our abdomen. We're filling our abdomen with air as we bring it up into our lungs, to the top of the lung, and then do a controlled exhale in and out through the nose. Another popular breath for the dorsal is breath of fire. It is a equal inhale, equal exhale, so it's another 1 to 1 breath, but it's very rapid. And again, only through the nose. There is definitely an abdominal thing throughout it. It's very rhythmic and very rapid. That breath takes time to learn, but it's more important for that breath to be rhythmic than it is rapid. The speed will come along, but the rhythmic nature is what's helping to build that vagal tone. You're building this all here through that abdominal center. When you're more in this dorsal state, you are now activating the areas of the vagus nerve that are touching our stomach, our intestines, and everything else in that abdominal region. There are lots of other different states that are different. There's lots of other different practices that we can try to move yourself back into regulation. I just want to discuss a few that touch in different areas of our body. But everything else, you really need to be doing this on a regular basis so your body gets comfortable trying different practices. So you get comfortable moving into these different practices as well. It is important to try these during the time of therapy. And then when you start to feel dysregulated, start using them as well. Once you start using them when you're comfortable and you get used to it, then you start to expand your threshold or tolerance, capacity, whatever word you can use. When you start using them when you feel dysregulated, you usually then able to bring yourself back in center. Usually takes literature says 8 weeks if you do this on a routine basis. I hope you found these resources helpful and would love to hear from you. If you tried any of these resources, if you've been able to recognize the state you're in and able to notice a difference and a change in your body and how you're responding. So much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for joining. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, subscribe, and share with a friend. Want to learn more about a specific topic? Drop us a line on our website and we can explore it deeper with you.